The opinions and views expressed in the following presentation do not necessarily reflect those of GameCon Radio or its affiliates.
Banshee's Lair, Visionary Talk Radio on GameConRadio.com. We rock your world.
Welcome to Mo Banshee's Lair, Visionary Talk Radio on GameConRadio.com. We rock your game. Tonight we're going to rock your world with one of our favorite sidekicks, and she does predictions and terror horoscopes, as I call them. Cheryl Lynn is coming back tonight, and she's waiting in the side. I want to welcome everybody listening on the players and however you're listening in, and everybody in the chat. Welcome for coming in. Jonathan Frid passed away on the 13th. Jonathan Frid will forever be known as the man who portrayed Barnabas Collins in the cult classic Dark Shadows. In 1966, you had The Guiding Light. All My Children was brand new that year, and there was this little soap opera that came on, and it all was centered around this governess. And the governess, they never quite ever told you who she was, but everybody figured that she was the illegitimate child of Elizabeth Stoddard, the one who ran Collins Wood. And she's called to be a governess at the house, and she's trying to find out where she came from. She knows she was born in Maine, but she's trying to figure out who she is. And suddenly it was floundering, so Dan Curtis brought in some ghosts. And suddenly it was about the ghosts were always trying to help, Victoria Winters. They were always saving her. They were always making sure nothing bad happened to her. And so, hang on, can you go to... And it was really, it still wasn't doing great. The show still was floundering. And then they did something that was amazing. They brought in this Canadian actor who was a Shakespearean actor, and they brought him in, and he saved it. And that show ran until 1971, and that was Jonathan Frid. And I got to tell you, I've often thought over the years that this poor guy was kind of like Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff. All of them, they were great actors. They were Shakespearean actors. They did great things. But the only thing anybody's ever going to remember Jonathan Frid for is Barnabas Collins. He saved that show. I don't know I would have wanted to be in his shoes, because he literally shouldered that show. He was 87 years old when he passed away. And only in the last 20 years did he really get comfortable with it. And he was often quoted as saying he didn't know what the attraction was. Barnabas definitely had a hang-up, he would call it. But he was getting 3 pensions from the States, and he lived in a nice little house, so he was okay with it. Whatever his life was, it turned out to be okay. Millions of women sent him pictures of themselves nude. They would send all kinds of letters. People would send him letters saying, "Don't beat up Willie." And then when they brought the series around again, it all started all over again. And he'd say, I don't mind, if they like what I'm doing, but sometimes they kind of forget that I'm not really a vampire. So, we really, he's an icon, and what he did was unbelievable. His character, his acting, actually created a whole cult. What he did for vampires was amazing. He did it before a lot of, all this Twilight stuff and everything. There was Barnabas Collins, portrayed by Jonathan Frid, and God bless his family and his friends and his loved ones. And I hope he gets to bite somebody in the neck in heaven. I don't know what he's doing. But we're going to play a song for him, and it's from one of my favorite movies, Somewhere in Time, written by John Barry, and we're going to be playing the theme from that. We're also going to be playing tonight Raise the Titanic by John Barry, and then The Wizard by Black Sabbath. And next week, we're going to be having Jesse Long on May 1st. He's an abduction victim for extraterrestrials. He's been on a lot of documentaries. He's one of those cases like Tom Reed that you just can't find holes in it, man. You don't know exactly what's going on. And then the week after that, we're going to have Geraldine Sutton-Stith. She's going to come on, and she is the daughter of one of the men who was involved in what is known as the Kelly Hopkinsville incident, and that was where farmers were attacked by extraterrestrials and fought them off with rifles in 1955. And then Tom Reed is going to join us the week after that. No, we're going to have the Barry Schwartz is going to be on the 15th. Barry Schwartz was one of the team who actually physically looked at the Shroud of Turin, and he investigated it. They did all kinds of samples on it to find out where it came from. So the 15th is the Shroud of Turin. Then on the 22nd, Jesse, Geraldine, and Tom are all coming on, and we're going to talk about the similarities in their abduction cases. And then on the 29th of May, Catherine Lee Scott is going to be on, and Catherine Lee Scott played Maggie Evans on the original Dark Shadows series. So we've got, May is going to knock your socks off, people. So that's what's going on. We have some crazy but news, and I always do. A New Jersey couple is suing their landlord because their house is haunted. A New Jersey couple rented a house, and Jose Chinchilla and his fiancée Michelle Callan claimed they were terrorized by eerie noises, flickering lights, slamming doors, and strange pulling on their bed sheets. So they got a hold of some group from New Jersey who made sure that all the news media got there, and Chinchilla and Callan are claiming that the activity forced them to move out of the home after 1 week, and they're suing their landlord for their $2,250 security deposit. Now, a haunting is something that's disrupting a life, and if eerie noises, flickering lights, slamming doors, that kind of thing upsets their lives, I'm going to say that this story, it's got a lot of red flags in it. The landlord believes the couple was more spooked by their rent. They overbid. They got in there and realized they weren't going to be able to pay the lease, so they wanted to get out of the lease. I didn't investigate the story, but I got to tell you, people are desperate for money now. The fact that the first thing they did was go to the news medium with this makes me very suspicious. Usually the serious cases I get, these people don't want anybody to know that they're having these kind of problems. I never go to the news about this kind of stuff because you're going to put people's lives, under a microscope, and most people don't want that. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm seeing more and more people resort to this to get out of their mortgages, to get out of paying the bills, to, for the houses and stuff. So I'm going to watch this, but I'm a little leery of this whole thing. Meow, a cat in Santa Fe, needs a home. Santa Fe, New Mexico. His elderly owner couldn't care for him anymore, so she had to put him up for adoption with a animal shelter there. But Meow has a problem. He weighs 39 pounds. That's about 25 pounds more than any cat should weigh unless they're a cougar. I saw a picture of him in the news, and he's a beautiful thing, but he is he can barely walk. He's just a big fat football with these 4 little nubs hanging down. They're going to put him on a very slow diet to get him to lose the weight, but then they're going to put him up for adoption. So somebody in the Santa Fe area, if you can, take this cat, that would be wonderful, and be his new forever home. So good luck to Meow. And that's our crazy but news. Terry Soto, Captain Celluloid. We're a little on the edge about the movie con for 2012 in June. There's a little bit of a problem because he's having problems getting vendors in. If you know a vendor in the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, maybe Connecticut and all that, that would be interested in having a table there, somebody get a hold of me. This is going to be a great movie con. A lot of iconic actors and actresses, from horror shows to comics to everything. Really great people are going to be there, and it'd be a shame to see this go down. And with that, I'm going to bring our guest on tonight, Cheryl Lynn. I met her some time ago at our camper, the same one that we had to bail buckets for this weekend. Welcome to the lair, Cheryl.
Oh, thanks, Mo. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, you're welcome. You you give personal readings, right?
Yes, I do. I do personal readings, and I can also do parties, and I guess anything.
Mm-hmm. And if anybody wants to get a hold of her, her number is 484-221-9620. She's available for personal, phone, or email readings. Ask about hosting a tarot party or psychic salon. What is a psychic salon?
A psychic salon is usually like a venue would bring me in, okay? It's almost like a place that I have to go to. And then salon means it's very, very casual. And then people would pay like a small amount of money in the restaurant or whatever venue I'm at, would provide, like food and drink. And I would give readings. And it's a very casual atmosphere. Mm-hmm. It's very, very, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of people, I'm from Pennsylvania, a lot of people do like the martini and manicure nights. And then this is more like the psychic version of that.
Kind of like a Tupperware party with a psychic?
Well, yeah, the tarot party is kind of like a Tupperware party where you get like 8 of your girlfriends together, and they pay, per reading, and then the host gets hers for free, and, that's a lot of fun, and everybody has a lot of fun with that.
Okay, your website is www.whiterose-productions.com. Mm-hmm. You've got a lot to talk about tonight, but I want to make sure everybody knows, speaking of psychic salons, Cheryl Lynn will be at her psychic salon this Thursday at Colonial House Restaurant, 129 Howardtown Road. What is that? Catasauqua, PA. Doors open at 6:30. Reservations are required. And I'll be posting all that on the recording and on asylumsgate.com, which is my site. If anybody's looking for me, that's where they can find me. And yes, I do help people with serious, serious hauntings. And no, I don't go to the newspaper about it. I guess I just don't have any business sense, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. What's your opinion of that?
Well, I think, like you said, I think that in that particular case, I think they're trying to get out of the rent, and they did it in a very creative way. You know, with all the paranormal shows on now, they figured they could get away with that, and maybe they will.
yeah, maybe they will. But you see, a lot of people are afraid to ask for help now exactly because of that. They're so afraid some group is going to come in and post their stuff all over. You know, let's just say that you have a unique sideboard and you have some group come in taking pictures and they throw it on and say, oh, this is CL's house out in the, Philadelphia area, let's put it like that. And there's a big picture of your sideboard there. And you're like, yeah, none of my relatives and friends are going to realize that's me. You know, I mean, come on, you know. And that's why a lot of people are afraid to ask for help now. And it's really kind of scary, and it's not funny anymore. But, you know, I guess whatever floats your boat or anything like that. So tell us, where do you want to start tonight with the tarots?
I'd like to start with the my predictions for 2013. Before I start, Mo, I just want to tell everybody that we do have a new American dream, and this came through my tarot, and so I have to kind of like put it out there for everybody. And our new American dream is it's no longer get everything you can. It's now live below your means, save your money, and enjoy your family. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's how we have to live now. We're also, Mo, in a new age. We're in the age of technology. People have said, you know, like the December 21st, 2012, the Mayans said it's the end of the world. It's just the end of the age. We're coming out of that. We're getting into this new age of technology. Mm-hmm. And with that brings a, brand new energy. There's some great things, but then, of course, the earth itself is going to be reacting to some of this as well. So I got a lot of that for 2013. And my main thing, Mo, is I want everybody just to be prepared. I don't want anybody to be scared, but I want everybody to be prepared. Okay?
Oh, okay. Now, you remember we're going to, like in 9 minutes, go to break. So I'm going to have to say, hey, we got to go to break. Okay. But, and I do understand that you have spoke to this to some people and they got so uncomfortable that they didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, I have been on a few other radio programs, and I had to kind of like censor myself a little bit because I felt that the hosts were getting a little bit like, but Mo, I'm just going to go full forward with you.
Yep, you give it to me with both barrels. And,
after what you've been through at the camper, you can handle this.
Women and children, man the lifeboats.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Yeah, Gene Kelly was dancing in the rain in my camper. I'm telling you, it was 3D the whole way. Okay, so let's start.
Okay, and I did these, Mo, on March 10th, 2012. Okay? The first thing I got was dangerous weather patterns continue in 2013. Expect the unexpected. Earthquake for the East Coast, major earthquake for the West Coast. Mo, you're going to love this. More flooding and tornadoes, volcanoes erupt. So basically what I saw was for us, because we're on the East Coast, I did see like another earthquake coming for us. But the West Coast, I did see a major earthquake. So I want the people out there in California, please, be prepared in 2013 for that. Mm-hmm. And flooding and tornadoes and weird places, and that kind of happened, in Oklahoma, and there's going to be more of that. And then when I have volcanoes erupting, Mo, I see like some inactive volcanoes,
right,
are going to be erupting because of the earth changes.
What do you think? Like maybe, and I'm not trying to put you in the spot, but like Yellowstone has been a great concern.
I got Fiji. I don't know if there's one in Fiji, but I got Fiji. Mm-hmm. Okay, so anybody out there can look that up. But that was like the one thing I got Fiji was that volcano. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but don't be surprised. Yeah, that there's going to be like people are going to say, "Oh my gosh, did that erupt or was that active?" It's like it's going to be like a surprise. Mm-hmm. Now, with your daughter here, major power surges happening throughout America. Many people without power for a long periods of time. Backup computers, buy generators. Always be prepared for these power outages. and everyone have a survival kit ready. I see power outages going on all over, so your daughter's going to be very busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people panic now. It's not like it was in the 50s and 60s. You lost your lights for a week, and okay, you had a big barbecue and all, and used the stuff in the freezer. Now people get very angry. They get frightened. It's as if nobody is used to the dark anymore.
So that's why they need to, if they can buy generators, please buy them, back up your computers, and have a survival kit ready. Have that, week's worth of food ready. That, another thing people can do is they can put, freeze up gallons of water now. Get like those gallons of water. You freeze those up, and then if your refrigerator goes, you can take them out of your freezer and stick it in your refrigerator, and that'll help keep your stuff. Do things like that. I have China moves in as a superpower in 2013, and then Do Not Trust, and I think the guy's name is XI. I guess he runs it. Mm-hmm. Do not trust him, and America is going to continue to struggle. The American economy will not show any signs of stability until 2016.
Wow.
And, so you got to, you really have to save your money. You really, just buy what you need, not what you want anymore. Mm-hmm. And, in fact, Mike Carroll was saying there's really not going to be any kind of stability till about 2018, between 2016 and 2018.
I said that years ago. I said that it took us decades to get into this mess, and it's going to take us decades to get out. But
I want everybody to continue to buy gold, silver, and copper, and the prices are going to rise. Gold's going to hit $3,000 an ounce no later than 2014. So, everybody, then they can sell their jewelry. Like right now, you see all these things on TV, send in your jewelry. I want everybody to kind of hold on to your gold. Hold on to your gold till it hits $3,000 an ounce. And, of course, silver and copper are going to do well. But that's really all I see, Mo, is like we're going to have any kind of, wealth, Mm-hmm. It's Obama versus Romney for president. It does not matter who wins because they both will be weak presidents. However, there will be a female president in the future who will take power and clean house. So I do see a woman coming. Mm-hmm. I have that the youth protesters are going to turn violent, youth in revolt all around the world. Right now, the youth is, they're peacefully demonstrating in New York, and they're peacefully demonstrating around the world, but I do see that getting violent. Mm-hmm. Okay? Again, I think it's just the energy is being churned up with this new age of technology coming in.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I upset anybody, but kids are used to having everything handed to them now, and when it's not going to be handed to them, they're going to take it because they're used to having it. And that's the kind of society we've bred for the last 20 years now, and it's going to get ugly to the point where I'm concerned about martial law.
Yeah, it's going to be the youth, though. It's the younger ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is other countries, too, not just America. I mean, I think some of the other countries are going to be even more violent. These demonstrations are going to get out of hand. But, we're going to see some things in New York there, with the demonstrators now. Mm-hmm. Now, I do see more and more children being born autistic in 2013.
Any reason why?
Well, they're actually the next generation. They're like advanced humans. They're actually advanced souls. They call them crystal children, indigo children. Mm-hmm. And actually the autistic children are going to fit in well with this age of technology. Mm-hmm. Okay, but they're kind of like advanced. They're the next step up from where we're at. They're the advanced souls, actually.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I got from my tarot anyway. Mm-hmm. And here, Mo, you're going to like this one. Paranormal activity increases big time in 2013. More and more people seeing full-body manifestations. Dream life becomes active and vivid. So it's going to be your phone might be ringing off the hook in 2013.
Yeah, but that'll also be the energy from the tectonic plates moving, the Earth starting to belch up from all that we've done to her. This hydro drilling and everything. All this energy is going to be released, and energy affects everybody differently. So that would make sense.
And actually, I saw that the veil between the two worlds are going to be thinning. It's going to be thinning even more. That for example, Grandma, might die on Wednesday, and you might see her her face or whatever on Saturday. You know what I mean? She might have enough energy. Just somebody who's really not into the paranormal, and they're just. So you're going to get calls, Mo.
Okay.
And again, technology advancement phenomenal in 2013. So much new technology coming out in all areas of life. It'll be hard to keep up with it all.
All
okay?
right, I've got to stop you right there.
Okay.
So just put your finger there and stop.
Okay.
We're going to go to break. And again, the song that I picked is I'm going to dedicate it to the actor Jonathan Frid, who didn't know he was creating a television icon character by taking on the role of Barnabas Collins in Dark Shadows. But the character has been strong and alive since 1966, and there's almost nobody who doesn't know who that character is. And now a new movie is being released in a few days about Dark Shadows. So if Jonathan Frid had not taken that role, none of this would have happened. It would have been a one-season show that nobody ever paid attention to, and instead it became television history. So we're going to play Somewhere in Time, and I'm going to dedicate it to him because he's somewhere in time now. And we'll be right back. This is GameCon Radio, rocking your world tonight with psychic Cheryl Lynn.
To that home out on the range, they got a lot of
GameCon Radio. We rock your game.
that makes sense.
This is Michelle Tomlinson, the Scream Queen, and I listen to GameCon Radio. Why? Because it rocks.
Welcome back to Mo Banshee Slayer Visionary Talk Radio on GameCon Radio. We rock your game. I hope everybody liked that piece of music. I heard it on a video that one of Jonathan Frid's friends had made for him, and I thought it just was beautiful, and it was just such a lovely piece of music, and I love the movie it came from, Somewhere in Time, and I thought that would be a lovely song to dedicate to him tonight. And again, we're going to have Catherine Lee Scott on the 29th, and she was Maggie Evans, and she's the lucky girl that got to make out with Jonathan on a daily basis, for crying out loud. So she's going to be on our show on the 29th. So I hope everybody enjoyed that piece of music. I hope everybody is enjoying the show. Our guest tonight is Psychic Cheryl Lynn, and she is doing predictions for 2013, the new America, and we were just talking during the break, and the thing that she stresses is we all have to learn about money again. We have to start realizing that it's going to go out faster than it's coming in, and there may not be money right around the corner again for us to replace it. So we have to learn about money. We have to teach our children about money. And I'm going to let Cheryl come back on and explain some more, but we have a call-in number now. This is the way it's going to work. We're new to this call-in number. You're going to, if you want to call Cheryl Lynn and ask her a question, Cheryl Lynn, she takes your name and just give her your name and the question, what is it? But here it is. You're going to call the number, it's going to ring, and then Matt's going to let me know there's a call, and I'm going to have to interrupt Cheryl Lynn. So don't get all, and I'm sorry, because my one of my relatives is Cheryl Ann, so that's why I keep going right to Cheryl Ann. And I know you, so it makes it's even stupider, you know. So that's how it's going to work. So please be patient. If we drop the call, everybody's going to have to understand we're new to this. Michael used to do this for me, but now we're doing it for the first time. The number is going to be 732-707-7709, and I'm going to put it in the chat. So just give us, make sure you give us time to get to the phone and answer it. So Cheryl, go on. What else are we up against?
Okay, just what you were saying before about the money, and like I was telling Mo in the break, I had to say goodbye to my credit card. It broke my heart, but I had to say goodbye to my credit card.
Yep.
And we all, like she said, we all have to save our money and invest our money in gold and things like that. Okay, now I'm going to lighten up a little bit here. I have some celebrity health scares coming up for 2013. I see health scares for Larry the Cable Guy. I do see something around his heart or his lungs. So if anybody listening knows him, he really needs to get to a doctor. Also, Chaz Bono. I see all kinds of health issues around Chaz Bono. And Lady Gaga. I do feel Lady Gaga has like a medical illness that's like lupus or something that she's hiding from us. Mm-hmm. And I do feel that it's going to manifest more in 2013. Lady Gaga, she has a phenomenal career, but I do feel she's going to start getting more and more tired, you know what I mean, as time goes on, even though she's a young girl. So,
she's burning hot, and that's the problem. Yeah. She's going to burn out.
And like I said, my tarot said lupus or something like that, so hopefully she's taking care of herself. And now Kim Kardashian, she's going to meet the man she will marry, and she will meet the man that she's going to marry in 2013. And yes, she will have children, and she will not marry again after him. So that's it for this Kim Kardashian stuff.
Oh, thank God.
So now you can sleep at night, Mo.
I had to ask people, who is she?
Well, it's going to be dragging on. This thing's going to be dragging on in 2012, and then finally 2013, she meets the man she's going to marry.
Yeah.
And gas prices in America are going to be steady in the mid $3 a gallon range. People continue to adjust their lifestyles according to what the pump says. So even more so in 2013, even more so than what we're doing now. People really are going to be, either I go to the movies this week or I put gallons of, the car is going to take over, the gas pump prices are going to take over what they actually do, for extra money, if they need the gas prices. I just see them more fluctuating a lot more in 2013. You know what I mean? It's like one week bang, 1 week bang. It's like, wow, we can't go here and we can't go there.
You're going to have to be very deliberate in what you decide to spend your money on. And I might suggest locking gas caps, because if this turns out like I think it's going to be, and we've already had one case of it where I went out and said, now that's ridiculous. I just had a tank of gas, and it happened in January, and somebody siphoned off my gas. So we're going to have to think about, getting locking gas caps. And you're right, people are going to have to be very deliberate with where their money goes.
Yeah, they're going to be spending, if they have anything extra, it's going to go week by week, because they might have to put that extra in the gas tank. Now, I see another major court case will capture the world's attention in 2013, and it's going to involve a wealthy woman. So you know how we have, the O.J. trials, and we had Lindsay Lohan, and we have all these trials. I do feel there's another one coming up in 2013 that people are going to all be talking about. It's going to be around a woman. Mm-hmm. And finally, Mo, my last one I have, this is good news. Online dating sites become less popular in 2013. People start to get out a little more and actually interact with others on a social level. I do feel people are going to get tired of meeting each other online like that. You know what I mean? I feel like, especially women are going to get sick of that. And they want to see the man, They want to meet the man, but they might get they might get more old-fashioned again, you know, where you meet somebody for coffee, you know, you get introduced by somebody, and, you know, instead of just putting your stuff on chat lines like that.
Do you think it might be because a lot of people are going to be losing their internet?
No, they could be losing their internet, but I think people are going to be getting tired of how impersonal that is. You know what I mean? Especially, you know, someone you're going to be dating, and especially women, you know, they're going to miss a little bit of that romance and a little bit of that courting, you know? And so I do feel, especially women are going to be like, you know, let's meet for coffee, let's meet, introduce me to somebody. You know what I mean? Instead of just putting a picture up on the internet. So
and
that's
really,
what I got.
yeah, you can't even really, let's face it, they could be putting a picture up that's altered, photoshopped, it could be an old picture. I mean, you know, I tell my kids, if they're putting something on the internet, chances are they're in worse shape than you are. You know, be careful. Buyer beware. But really, yeah, the internet has isolated society from each other. And I know so many people that just don't do anything but sit on the internet. You know, they don't know anybody. They don't go anywhere, you know. Let me ask you something. The movie industry, it's going to take a clobbering with the economy. Do you see theaters maybe becoming a thing of the past?
What I saw, I'm glad you brought that up. Well, first of all, Hollywood will always be, because there's going to, like you said, these videos, like they have like, you know, Netflix, and they have like, they'll always make their money. So it's not like they'll never make their money. But what I did see, Mo, and this is like down the line, I'm glad you brought this up. I see theaters changing. Now, right now we have like the 3Ds, right?
Right.
I see like virtual theaters where people are going to go, and the movie actually is going to be interacting around you, like the holograms, and like you're actually part of this whole, like the whole movie. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's a ballroom scene, you're sitting at the table to ballroom. It's holograms, and yeah, I had a clear vision of that, but that's down the line a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to have to be after the economic crisis for sure. Yeah, because I definitely see a lot more movies are going right to DVD, and people were laughing about actors who were doing that. Like Steven Seagal started putting his right to DVD about 10, 15 years ago, you know, and I thought it's not because he's not popular anymore. He's cutting out all that money that's going to be lost, you know. He's going right to the public. Just get the product right to the people who are going to pay for it. And I thought it was brilliant.
I don't see him losing money as far as like the DVDs and things like that. That just advances. So,
yeah, he's not losing money at all. Where I think it's going to be rough now is people are going to start saying, well, wait till it comes out on DVD, because I took the family to go to the movies to see the 3D Titanic, which actually was pretty good, you know, with the 3D and all that stuff. But it ended up costing me $120 for us all to go. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, this is a lot of money. You know, it is a lot of money to go to the theater now. I mean like a movie house. Theaters are even worse. I mean, you know, for the crappiest seats, it's $65, you know, if you go into Broadway or anything. So I'm starting, yes, VX Llama is asking in the chat, did the ship sink in that movie? Yes, it did. And it also sunk again in my camper on Saturday night. And there was the captain smiling, drinking his tea, saying, I'm going to sink this, bitch. But anyway, I'm telling you. Yeah, I think that movie theaters are going to be in big trouble over the next 5 years, even more so than they are, unless they start to drop their prices and start showing older movies again on the big screen. Like The Wizard of Oz it's not meant to be seen on a TV. The Wizard of Oz is supposed to be seen on a big, huge movie screen. You know,
like I said, it might have like the virtual theaters like I saw, where you might be even part of Oz. You know what I mean? You're actually part of it.
Yeah.
You're going down the yellow brick road with her, you know?
Jurassic Park, they're coming our way. They're flocking our way. That should be cool. Okay, so 2013 looks like it might be a rough ride, huh?
It's going to be a big change. Like we are on the beginning of that new age of technology. We're getting out of the one age and we're getting into a new age. So there's going to be adjustments that have to be made. I just think everybody needs to be prepared. Just be ready for these things, and you know, like we were talking about your money. You know, learn about your money. Learn about student loan debts, and you know, like if you go bankrupt, you still have to pay back those student loan debts. You have to learn about all that. Also, people like in their homes, you know, they're going to have to, basically stay in their homes if they can, or they have to rent again. You know, it's no longer like get the bigger, better home. It's just like stay in your home. And I do see people doing that. They're going to kind of like get away from counting on their homes as their main source of like investment, and they're just going to say, look, we're here for the long haul. So let's redo the kitchen. Let's do what we want to do. We know it's not going to add any value to our home, but you know what I mean. They're going to just kind of like improve what they have. And some people are just going to be like, hey, we're renting again. You know?
Yeah, the thing I see, and it already has started, and I said this some years ago too, is families are going to have to start banding together again. We went through that whole time where I'm 18, I'm getting out, I'm never coming back. Well, now they're coming back with the pets and the kids and everything else because they can't keep their roof over their head. So families are going to start having to get together again to keep the family home going. And it's kind of going to be like the Walton deal. Do you know what I mean? With many different family members in a house. Combined members, the kids staying until their 30s and grandma's there and there's safety in numbers, and when you all start contributing to the household, that's when everything gets a little easier on everybody, where if you're fending for yourself, it gets a lot harder to support the unit, So I see that going on a lot. What scares you the most about the coming year?
What scares me the most? Out of everything I read, two things. The power surges scare me because they're going to be so random. They're going to be so, just like you said, whole neighborhoods knocked out for, week, 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. That's, to me, that is scary. And also China moving in as a superpower.
Yeah.
They're really, they're going to be... They're not as they seem. They've been kind of like waiting for this moment,
Mm-hmm.
And so China moving in,
Yeah, greedy politician and businessmen sold everything else, outsourced it to China, and now they literally got us by the brass hammers, and they know it now. They know it. Half of the United States is not even owned by Americans anymore.
Yeah, I really don't know too much about like the politics and all that. I just know what my tarot was saying. But China, that guy that runs it, that XI, I just got like, he's got one of those minds. He's not a child of light. Let's just say that. So
no, he's calculating. He's not
stupid.
Yes,
that's a good word.
There's crazy people tend to be incredibly intelligent. And the reason they can get away with what they do is because they are crazy and they're not afraid of the consequences. So that's what makes him a very dangerous person. And I don't think anybody is paying any attention to these people.
Yeah, so I just, I got like a big red light over that. So those are the two things, and everything I read, those are the two things that stick out. And,
okay, so what else is, now you've got your, the horoscopes, right?
Yeah, now I have my tarot horoscopes for 2013, and, they have like, people have like astrology. I use my tarot instead of like the astrology, and these are just the people's sun signs, Mo.
Okay.
And this is just like a little snippet of what their 2013 or what to expect for their 2013.
Okay.
So should I start or?
Well, do you want to do me first?
Okay, what's your sign, Mo?
It's May 1st.
Okay. Well, your birthday's coming up. You're a Taurus like me. I'm on May 9th. I'm a Taurus on May 9th. I always say we're the best sign, but don't tell Leo. Okay, Mo. For us, enjoyment in the home and with family for the Bulls. Some big business deals are made in 2013. Better connections with people in power to help advance the Bulls. Extra money needs to be saved, not spent. So you and I and all towards the Bulls out there, we really have to watch our money. But the universe is going to give us opportunities to make the money. So basically, and we're going to enjoy, like, we're going to spend more time in our homes, and like you said, spend time with our families.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we're also, Jupiter's been in our sign now for almost a year. Jupiter goes out of our sign in June 11th. But Jupiter is the good luck planet, okay? And it's been blessing Taurus, and it's going to continue to bless us, okay?
I don't know how all that works. I don't know.
It's really complicated. Like I said, I use my tarot, but I know, since I'm Taurus the bull, I want to know when Jupiter's in my sign because I can always use those extra blessings,
Yeah.
And after June 11th, then Mo, it goes into our second house, which is our money house, and Taurus likes that. So we're going to be pretty good.
That's cool.
Okay, now I have Aries. Now, Aries, they're born March 21st to April 20th. Rams take on more responsibility for themselves and others, demanding work projects that take time to complete, but once completed, bring in financial rewards, and Aries rolls up their sleeves and gets the job done in 2013. Lots of action around Aries. Aries people, they get things done. You know what I mean? They definitely are people that walk the walk. They don't talk the talk, they walk the walk. Their motto is, I can do it. And they will be doing it in 2013. Okay?
Okay.
I have Gemini. They're May 22nd to June 21st. Expected money or advancement is delayed until the second half of 2013. Be patient, Gemini. It will come, but it may take another form than you think, and more time will be spent with children or younger members of the family, and business partnerships are featured. Mm-hmm. Okay? Cancer, June 22nd to July 22nd, major changes coming to the crab in 2013, changes in attitudes, friends, life path, and employment, and the old gives way to the new, and anything pending in the courts for the crab will require time, patience, and money, and a new friend comes into your life in 2013. So out of all the signs that I've done, Mo, Cancer, the crab, June 22nd, July 22nd, lots of radical shake-ups for them.
Mm.
But it'll all end on a positive note for them. But they're going through most of the changes. Like, they're really going through a lot of changes.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Should I keep going here?
Yeah, we got 4 minutes, so yeah.
Okay. Leo, July 23rd, Leo the Lion, July 23rd, August 21st. Romance finds Leo in 2013. Proposals, weddings, engagements, new life to old relationships are featured. Commitment to love and those you love. And doing what you love is very important to Leos this year. And broken hearts are healed, and you love again, Leo. So Leos has anything this year for Leo the Lion. If they have like heartbreak, heartache, there's closure in 2013. There's healing in 2013, and they're the universe is giving them extra blessings as far as like love, new relationships, meeting new people. Mm-hmm. So that's good for Leo the Lion. And Virgo, August 22nd to September 23rd. Virgo spends some alone time figuring out what they truly want in life, especially the first half of the year. And as the snake sheds its skin to grow, Virgos will be shedding some negative people, jobs, habits, and situations. So unlike Leo, who's going to be out there, dating and having a pretty active social life, Virgo is going to be more, contemplative. They're going to be, they're going to be like figuring out life's purpose and the deeper meanings of life. A lot of them are going to be thinking about changing their religion or looking more into spirituality, and they're going to take some quiet time in 2013 and digest everything that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
More.
Libra, this is my husband, September 24th, October 23rd. Conflicts at work start out your 2013, Libra. Corporate shakeups and business changes. You may work a second job. Allow others to help you as you sort out your career choices. But don't worry, you will make good money in 2013. So Libra, they have like a lot of career shakeups but they would be the sign that has the most advancement as far as like your careers and jobs and especially in the second half of the year calms down a little bit for them, and they will make money in the long run.
Okay, we're going to go to break.
Okay.
The next song that I have is Raise the Titanic. It was John Barry, just like the first song. John Barry, he wrote some beautiful stuff for movies. Raise the Titanic was a Clive Cussler movie from a book, and he wasn't real happy with it, but I loved the movie. And Richard Jordan was what was his name, Dirk Pitt. And I loved him as Dirk Pitt. I'm not a big, huge Matthew, whatever his name, McConnelly. I'm not, he just doesn't, he seems too nice to be Dirk Pitt. But that's neither here nor there. So I picked that song for the second break, and we'll be right back with more horoscopes for 2013.
Hey, little girl, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Game Con Radio, the station your mother warned you about.
Yes? Hi, I'm here for the New York Ghost Tour. Sorry, we're closed. But you can come back next week. Next week? Forget that. I'll just go check out another place. Trust me, there's no place half as interesting as ours, dear. That's so not true. What about the Shanley Hotel in Napanock? Once you've been to one haunted hotel, you've been to them all. Not like this place. The Shanley Hotel dates back to 1845, and since then it's been a hotspot for paranormal activity. Mysterious music, smells, whistling, doors opening, footsteps. Almost everything you can imagine has been experienced at that hotel. It's open to the public? Absolutely. Sal and Cindy, the owners of the hotel, welcome people for regular stays or investigations, and their rates are beyond reasonable. They even offer workshops and in-house psychics. How did you learn about this place? By visiting www.shanleyhotel.com. You can get history, investigation info, and much more. Thanks, I think I will. Just don't tell any of our customers. Your secret's safe with me. It's not like anyone can hear us.
And we're back live. This is Mo Banshee's Lair, Visionary Talk Radio and GameCon Radio, and our very special guest, good friend, Psychic Cheryl Lynn. Psychic Cheryl Lynn does readings. You can call her at 484-221-9620. I'll be putting it on the podcast so everybody can get that number. She's available for personal, phone call, email readings. She does tarot parties, psychic salon. Check her website out, www.whiterose-productions.com. Tonight we're doing predictions for 2013, the New America, and horoscopes, but we have a question. It's a personal question. Blondie Hayes is asking, will I be moving in the near future, and if so, where?
Okay. What's her real first name instead of Blondie?
Oh, okay. We need her to write that before I can tell you. Jan.
Jan, okay. Okay, she would like to know if she will be moving and where. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm shuffling my tarot cards here, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, Tarot's saying right away that she doesn't have the money right now to move, okay? She will have the money more in 2013. Okay, I do see better financial conditions coming for her in October of this year. Until then, she really doesn't have the money, but the universe has heard her prayer. She definitely will move, okay? Now, my tarot is saying she's going to be moving. I get the 3 around this, so it's either going to be 3 states away, either in either direction, you know what I mean, or 3 blocks away, but I get like a strong 3 around this. She definitely will move, and she's going to love she's going to love it, you know what I mean, where she moves. But right now she does not have the money. Also, she needs to look into the details, like all this paperwork, you know, about actually moving, okay, and the legalities of it. So in the meantime, until she has the money to move, she can start looking into the legalities of moving. Okay?
Very cool. Okay, so where were we on the horoscopes?
Okay. We stopped off at Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is October 24th to November 22nd. Lots of travel for Scorpio in 2013. Lots of money, too. Many financial blessings for you, and some investments you made in the past are going to pay off for you big time in 2013. Scorpio needs to watch their energy levels and make sure that they get proper sleep and enjoy your downtime and relax. So Scorpio is going to be very, very busy in 2013. I have Sagittarius, which is November 23rd to December 22nd. Holding out for what you really want is your key to happiness in 2013. You want what you want, and you're going to go after it in a big way. And good fortune and money blessings for you, too. Now, Sagittarius, they love to travel. They love new things. They love to try new things. And like the changes that are coming, Mo, we had talked about, Sagittarius can really deal with it. You know what I mean? They like change. They like new. So out of all the signs, they're the ones that can really handle all this upheaval and all this stuff going on.
Okay.
The next one's Capricorn, December 23rd to January 20th. You keep plugging away in 2013, Capricorn. Better relationships with your children or grandchildren. More quality time spent with them. Unexpected social invitations come to you. Go and have some fun. Now, Capricorn, unlike Sagittarius, Capricorn will stay back. You know what I mean? They're not one that would move forward, but they're going to move a little more forward, going to plug away in 2013. So they're going to get out a little bit more than what they usually do. Okay, next one is Aquarius, January 21st to February 19th. Moving up, moving out, or moving on, lots of comings and goings. Your life is very active and very busy. Many things going on all at the same time. You become a master multitasker, and health decisions to be made in November, December of 2013. So those of you who are Aquarius, watch your health in November or December. I do feel that their health levels are lower, okay? So, and then Pisces, this is the last one, Pisces. February 20th to March 20th, extra work pays off in a big way for you in 2013, Pisces. You're going to have some changes in friends and situations, but there'll be more social outings for you. And with Pisces, I do feel that some people are going to be moving on. That, some people that they've been associated with, they're going to have some closure on them. You know, new people are going to be coming in, and some old friendships, and some people are going to be moving away and starting their own lives, even people that Pisces have helped in the past. The people are going to be very grateful to Pisces, but then they're going to be like moving on, and then Pisces will be in new situations, new friends, new situations. So, Mo, that's it for my 2013.
Wow. So who's Cancer seems to be having, is going to have a renaissance year, huh?
Yeah, Cancer is the one that's, let me look at I took my glasses off and I can't see. Cancer, I have major changes coming to the crab in 2013. Changes in attitudes, friends, life path, employment, the old gives way to new, and anything pending in the courts for the crab will require time, patience, and money, and a new friend comes into their life. Yeah, they got everything going on. Cancer.
How did you get into reading tarot cards?
Okay, well, I'm a natural-born psychic through my father's line. There's a bunch of psychics that go down my dad's lineage, so I was one of these psychic kids, and how some people are trying to become a psychic or like try to enhance their psychic abilities. I have to try to tame mine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
too
down.
much. Yes, I have relatives that, I have a sister, and I have relatives that they can't even walk through the Walmart now, because they don't know if it's an angel, a guide, a real person.
Mm-hmm.
They can't, and I don't want to be like that. So I've discovered through the tarot cards that I can control this. Okay, so like when I hang up with you, Mo, I'm going to put the cards away, and I'm going to close the door and be able to walk around. You know what I mean?
You've trained yourself, and by the way, Blondes is saying thank you. You've trained yourself to have a focal point, and once you move away from the focal point, you're not there anymore, right?
Yeah, well, this is a really it's like a key. It opens a door. I have these psychic abilities, and then at the end of the reading, I close the door. And tarot kind of like, I'm not like your usual tarot card reader. I get visions through the tarot cards.
Right.
But it's just a way for me to control it, because I want to walk around, and I want to have a life, and I want to be able to, like I said, I have relatives that are so advanced, and it's just, you know what I mean? They don't have a guide. They don't have a guide or an angel or a real person, or, you know what I mean? It gets, they could go crazy sometimes, I don't want to be like that. I want control over this. So
what do you
I use
think?
The tarot.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, and I probably am at this point, but that chick, the Long Island psychic, with this, where she walks in stores and just starts talking to people and saying, "Oh, your grandmother is here." And what do you think of that?
Okay, well, she has that. That's her way. Like, I don't want to be that.
No,
okay?
I don't want to ever be that, because I'm afraid if she did it to me, I would not be very happy about it. But
okay, because they feel so compelled. Although she's working it. I mean, she's doing it well, and she's doing it properly. It's just that, like I said, I have relatives that have that ability, and if you don't do it in the proper way, like she's doing it, then it gets out of control, where you have to go up to people and say, "Listen, there's somebody,
Mm-hmm.
You have a grandmother named Edna? Yes, well, Edna has a message for you," and then it gets people afraid, So I like her, the Long Island medium. She reminds me of my mother.
Hang on, we had a little. Hang on, you're breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit for me, so hang on a second. I don't know what's going on. Okay, try to talk now. Are you there? You want to go get George? I think we might have lost her. We may have to call her back for a minute. We
had a call.
Oh, there. Okay, there you are. Okay.
Yep.
So, you kind of broke up on me for a minute. I find well, you know me, and I'm very skeptical, because I know what I can do. And when people come up to me and start doing this crap in my face, I get nervous, because if you're better than me, you better get the pick 6. You know what I mean? And I don't like that, because just because, and I don't necessarily call it a gift, just because you have it doesn't mean you have the right to insinuate yourself on other people's lives. Do you know?
Yeah, well, like I said, I use the tarot. It controls that, so like I'm not like other relatives that are, just feel.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I mean, if I didn't have this tarot, then I would be like that. It's not me, but
yeah.
But I'm getting my messages out, and the universe wants me to do these predictions, and I'm doing the best that I can.
And you're doing it the right way. You're doing it the right way, I mean, I like that. I just, it makes me nervous when people start just walking up to other people and saying, "Oh, by the way, so-and-so wants you." Oh, get out of my face. Come on, go away, somebody. But I just and you brought up something else. These kids on these shows where they're actually, let's face it, right now, paranormal is a cash cow. It's starting to fade out a little bit, which I'm not totally unhappy to see. But I worry about kids that maybe have a little bit of that gut feeling, and mom and dad are seeing, dollar signs. Let's get them to, propagate it. Let's see if we can get them to hone their skills. And maybe that's not exactly what they're supposed to be doing with it, because I never did anything to try to make it any better. And if anything, I kind of push it to the back. I kind of keep it a lid on it, because I don't want it to take over. I get worried about people exploiting their kids for the almighty buck with this.
Well, I mean, my parents could have exploited us. We have 3 sisters, and we could tell when the phone was going to ring. We could tell people were going to die, but we thought that was normal.
Right.
And then we had angels. We could see angels when we were little. We were calling them our imaginary friends, but they were angels. And we had like all that stuff going on. And my sister Robin could astral project, and but we didn't know what that was. No one said anything until later on. And then we said, we found out, that's not how people are. And
but your parents weren't like calling Chip Coffey and saying, okay, put them on a show, and how much are we going to get for them to be on a show? And I admire your parents, because they could have turned you into the Fox sisters, for God's sake, and we all know what a disaster that turned out to be. They were drunks, and their lives were destroyed, and they ended up having to recant it. Then they ended up having to say, well, we really were, so that they could make money. I just, it's not necessarily a gift when you're a child. You got a lot of things on your plate for it. It's
scary, and like when I was a teenager, I had to talk to God, and I said, because it was getting to the point now where I was seeing visions. I couldn't sleep at night because they were coming, like people from the other side were coming to talk to me, just to say hello, and my guides and everything. It was too much for me, and I was a teenager. And then I said to God, listen, we got to find a way, to control this, But, the universe wants me to do these predictions, so I'm doing them, and like I said, the other relatives that I have, they just kind of have a low profile. They're low key. They're not out there. So
yeah, there's and that's fine. I don't mind it. Like I went to that one class with Jane, and I was just sitting in basically to see what kind of people took her classes, and I noticed a lot of them had a lot of stuff on their plate. One person at the class had cancer. Another was only 45 and had already been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I mean, that's a horrible thing to have to deal with, So I saw that a lot of the people that gravitated were trying to get answers, and that one woman had lost her son, and that. But Jane was like, okay, now I'm going to give you a test, and I'm going to reach in this, and I'm going to hold an object, and she told us what she had in the bag, so it wasn't a complete surprise, And she said, now, when I grab it, I want you to write down on the paper what I'm holding, and all that. And I got the highest of the class, and I was the one that she had to talk into taking this thing, doing it with her, and all. But I'm uncomfortable with it because I'm sure you've been asked, is my son alive? My son disappeared 10 years ago. Is he alive? Do you ever get stuff that makes you really uncomfortable, and you sit there and say, why me, God? I really didn't want it. I really didn't want this. Do you ever get that kind of stuff?
I haven't gotten that. I haven't gotten is my son alive? Or I've had people that want to talk to their son on the other side, and they lost their son, and I've done that. But I don't do the missing children, not yet.
Okay.
But I have a feeling that God's not done with me yet. But
Right.
I do have a girlfriend. Her name is Psychic Dana Weiss, and she lives in California. She's a fantastic psychic, and right now she's doing that. She's solving cases. That's kind of like her forte. You know what I mean? Right now she's solving cases and finding missing children, and so she's using her talents to help out humanity that way. So I think that, I think it's wonderful. I'm not doing that yet. Like I said, God really has me doing the predictions right now, all the predictions and just getting people ready for, because everybody's going to be scared on December 21st, 2012, and I'm trying to get the word out.
I don't get it. I feel like the voice calling in the wilderness. I had an expert on Mayan writings and all of that stuff, and he went out and he studied. The guy is a professor. He can read Mayan writings, and I said, so where did they say that the world was going to end? And he says they didn't. I don't understand why people are insisting. The Mayans said it's just they didn't have a 22nd on their calendar. It was just the way the rotation of days came. They did mention something happening in 2013, so obviously there's going to be a 2013. I just don't understand the paranoia about December 21st, and there's nothing anywhere written saying, the world's going to end on the 21st.
Well, actually, Mo, these changes, everything that we're talking about, like this new age of technology and all these changes, they actually really started in October of 2011.
Right.
And they're just intensifying. But, like I said, that people aren't prepared, like, for some of these weather patterns and these power surges. And, like right now we have, like, Oklahoma had all those tornadoes and the storms. And, so people might think it's the end of the world. It's just the end of the age. And so, anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to, get the word out here on this. And God gives us all different gifts or different areas.
Yeah, he does.
Need to do.
Absolutely, he gives us different gifts, and it's when God gives you that kind of gift, you got to use it wisely. Let me ask you something. If let's say you progress into the next phase, and you get some kind of idea that where a missing child is or something, would you feel comfortable going to the police and saying, look, I think I've got the answer here?
I definitely would if God, through my guides, and it started happening, if I got a vision or a dream or it started, happening, I would have to do it. I would be obligated to do it. And it would be something that it helps out humanity. At this point where I'm at, God hasn't shown me that. God's just really showing me all these predictions and showing me 2014 and 2015, and you know what I mean. It's almost like I don't want to say prophecy, but these predictions to get the word out, just to prepare the people a little bit. But if he started showing me, where children are, or I need to go to the police, I definitely would, like I said, my girlfriend, Psychic Dana Weiss, she does it in California, and she's really helping people. So wherever God puts me, Mo, wherever the universe puts me, I got to go. So
yeah, I have dreams that it's society breaking down a little bit. We got a question, Friday the 13th. Where will I meet my flame twin? I'm ready to meet them. What is a flame twin?
The twin flame, the soulmate? Is that what they're talking about? Their other self?
I guess so.
Okay. And what was their question? And what's her first name and what's her question?
They just have Friday the 13th down. I don't know if they're going to be comfortable. You have to give her your name.
Just the first name.
So that's what a soulmate is, a flame twin?
I guess they're talking about their twin flame or like their soulmate.
Yeah.
Actually, the soulmates are, I'll answer the question for them, but the soulmate, I just want to let everybody know about that. We actually don't have soulmates down here. Our soulmate's actually on the other side. The soulmate is actually we're both male and female, and for me, like my male side's on the other side. That's my soulmate. But we do have kindred spirits down here, so I can't really answer about soulmates, but I can answer about a kindred spirit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll try. Okay. 1 second here.
I'm too old for that stuff. I've met them all. I'm done. I'm retiring.
Okay. All right. Now, I don't actually see Friday the 13th meeting any kind of like kindred spirit or any kind of romantic relationship for the next 2 years. However, I do see I see companionship coming. I do see some dating, some friends, some dating. They need to work out. They have some past baggage that they have to actually work out. They need some closure. Because the universe really is not going to give you anybody new until you close out the other one. Mm-hmm. And so they're at this point, they're in they have to close out, they have to have closure or work through a past relationship or some of the emotional baggage that they're carrying. Mm-hmm. But it'll be a couple of years actually till they actually find the next one or next boyfriend, next girlfriend. But in the meantime, they will have some companions, and they will have some friendships, and so they won't be lacking socially. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something. You have children. Do any of them display any gift yet?
Yeah, I have one son, mm-hmm. and he's definitely an intuitive, but he does not want to develop this at all.
Right.
He's it's not that he doesn't believe in it or, he's lived with this, but he's an intuitive, but he just, I will go to him every once in a while and say, listen, I know you don't want to do this, but should I sign the contract for this? And then he'll say yes, Mm-hmm. So he's kind of like my own little personal intuitive, but he chooses not to do this. He, works a job. He's married. He has his own home. He's very, very happy, mm-hmm. and I'm happy for him. I would like to be a grandmother, but put that out in the universe. I'm not a grandmother yet.
It'll happen when it's ready, yeah.
Yes.
I find Teddy will sit there and say to me, don't you hate knowing everything? Yes, sometimes I do. Yes. It's not necessarily a good thing. And Friday the 13th is saying, and what should I say to them when I meet them? How should I act and dress? I don't know. Wear your best stuff. She doesn't know if you're wearing, what kind of clothes you're wearing or stuff like that. So,
Okay, I can. Okay, it's going to be a couple of years. I do feel a couple of years. Okay, until you actually meet somebody that's like a steady companion, a steady love interest. Okay, because I do feel that there's emotional baggage or doors that need to be closed. Okay, on that. Let me throw the cards here. Well, you know what? You're going to meet this person in the summertime, so make sure you're wearing summer clothing. I see you wearing summer clothing. Okay?
Dress scantily, but respectfully, so you don't
summer clothing.
Up. We don't want you having a love interest with a cop that arrests you.
And once they meet that person, they'll be with that person for a while. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. We do have a call-in number, people, and I'm more than willing to take callers. 732-707-7709. I think that I don't know how it is for you, but generation, like my kids are kind of like, no, we don't want to get involved with it because they see what it's done to my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You especially like helping people. When I do things and they'll say, that's your thing. You go help people. I want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. I want my own life. I don't. because my life has been hindered to a certain degree by somebody had said to me, so how much money do you make doing this? And I says, I don't make any money. What are you kidding me? And they said, well, what do you do it for? And I says, well, somebody has to care. Somebody has to be, be willing to help people, And they said, well, you're crazy, Yeah. And I guess the kids feel, no, I don't want that kind of life. I don't want to be worrying about paying the electric bill. I'd rather just go get a job where I can, make everything happen and not worry about week to week where we're going to come up with the money, because helping people means spending gas money, traveling, going to help them out and that kind of thing. And, it's rough on families. When you were a kid, was there any friction, or were your parents just cool and kept a lid on it and everything was calm?
It was, it was really strange, Mo. It was just like, that's how we lived, It was just like, phone's ringing, Pappy's going to die, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
in our house, it was, I would go, it's for you.
And I actually, I was talking to online on Facebook, I was talking to an old school friend I went to school with in first grade, and he told me that I used in first grade give people palm readings. So I didn't even remember that. So
let me get my gypsy outfit on here and start reading palms, Yeah, I'm not a palm reader, but I guess I was one in first grade. Yeah. When you were a kid, let me ask you, because I had this problem. The 50s, Steve McQueen was beating up the Blob. We had Zachary on TV with all the monster movies, and all that stuff. And you had House on Haunted Hill, and what was that one where the guy looked like he had mashed up eggs on his face and all? I was terrified by the movies because the people I saw never looked like that. Your spirits that came to you, they look just like regular people, right?
Oh yeah. Spirit guys, they look exactly like regular people. Yeah. Well, I'm a child of the late '60s, early '70s, so we had like Dr. Spock and Creature Double Feature, and that was like my movie. So they were a little more campy, when I was coming up.
Right.
Like the we had like the classic Dracula, we had the Bela Lugosi, and we had Frankenstein and things, and Wolfman and things like that. But yeah, ours was more like Dr. Spock and out of Philadelphia. There, it was very campy and so it was kind of funny actually. Our horror stuff, it was so campy, it was funny.
Yeah.
And but I guess you grew up in the era where it was like they were really scary.
Yeah. Zachary made a joke out of it. God bless him. He's like 97 now or something like that. And he makes the conventions and stuff. I don't know if he's doing them this year. But the movies, the ghosts, like 13 Ghosts. The ghost's face was all mashed up, and they look like like in The Sixth Sense, where the woman has the car accident and the kid is in the car and she shows up and she's got blood dripping down her face. I never saw spirits like that. I've never seen spirits like that in my life. They just look like they did in life, Well,
I used to get that when I was a teenager. Like I said, they used to start coming to me, and then I said to God, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
Other family members can handle that, but that's not for me, Yeah, so, I can understand the kid in The Sixth Sense. I actually can understand that. According to 2013, though, there's going to be more and more paranormal activity, so this might even become more of the norm.
Yeah,
there's more acceptance of this. So.
I think you misunderstood. It's not the fact that the spirits are there. It's just I never saw them looking like they were in train wrecks. They just looked like they normally looked,
Yeah.
Because and there was just a few weeks ago a spirit that was standing by a car wreck or something. Oh, we blew past the thing. Okay. Okay, somebody's trying to call in, and he's going to help them. But they this car wreck, I think it was in like Chile or Peru or something. And they took a picture, and it actually looks like somebody is standing there walking. And they said, was he, there at his own car wreck? Well, yeah, he's dead and he's up. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You expect the guy to, disappear or something, But they never looked like they were bleeding and their guts hanging out and stuff like that. And when I was a child, that was the big thing that scared me. I was scared to death I was going to see somebody with their guts hanging out or their face looking like they just ran into a train or something, or with blood. And I never saw that. And it wasn't until I realized the movies, it was all bunk. It was all just baloney, And I don't see that with people now. People watch TV, and anything that's on TV they take as gospel, But I mean, as far as spirits coming, I remember Holzer talking about it, and then his daughter talking about it, where he was in some castle in Europe, and he woke up and there was this soldier standing there. He says, "Please do me a favor, come back tomorrow, I'm sleeping." It got to the point where, you just said, okay, lay off, go someplace else, Your children, when they have grandchildren, did they say to you, just stay away from the grandchildren if we have it? We don't.
No. Well, my son hasn't. I don't have any grandchildren yet.
Right.
But children and animals are very psychic. So it's something with children, with little children, you can kind of ask them, what were you, and then just listen to what they say. You'll be surprised at some of the stories they'll come up with.
Yeah.
And
do you believe in past life?
Oh yes. Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel past life? See, I don't believe in past life. I've got a theory about past life, but I just don't believe God's that rotten to make us do this over and over and over again.
Well, actually, we come here to perfect ourselves, and we perfect ourselves for God, and we come back here to learn lessons, okay, to perfect ourselves. For me, like, my life's purpose is to bring laughter and light to the world. So I'm here in this lifetime trying to perfect that and trying to learn that. The way you have a past life, Mo, if you ever have those dreams where it's like what I call them the touchy-feely dreams, and you're in another time period, but you can feel things, and you can, like, look in a mirror and you might see like another, like, a different face, but it's you. So that's how you can kind of tell. But you can ask like a little child, just say, what were you in the last life? And just listen to what they have to say.
Yeah, but, I know that spirits will talk to children. And when a baby is born, let's face it, they're an open computer. They are a sponge. And we don't hear these spirits talking. So now you've got a spirit standing there telling them, oh, yeah, I was on the Titanic, or I was an airplane pilot in World War II, or whatever, because spirits will return home to where they live. So they might end up, in the next town over, there's a baby, and they'll say, oh, yeah, well, I used to do this, and they're telling them these stories. Now when this child is older and able to process some of this that they couldn't before, maybe it comes as a false memory.
Well, I don't know. All I know is about the touchy-feely dreams. Everybody kind of has them, at least once or twice in their life, and I don't know. I've been shown something different, Mo, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. But for me, I got to tell you, I wouldn't like it, because I don't think people retain. And everybody says the same thing to me as well. What do you remember? Well, I just have these dreams. Well, that means you're not retaining anything. So what's the point? Why keep bringing you back and making you do this all over again? We're going to go to a break, and the last song is a big, huge departure. It's called "The Wizard" by Black Sabbath, and we'll be right back with our guest, Psychic Cheryl Lynn.
You are listening to GameCon Radio.
questions.
Who are we?
Where do we come from?
Are we alone in the universe?
Is there life after death?
Where can I take a class and really learn about demonology? Now, get the answers. For a decade, the American Institute of Metaphysics has offered the ultimate in courses designed to serve as the foundation in your search for life's questions. The courses cover a variety of subject areas and consist of wide-ranging alternative sciences, theories, and philosophies. Each course comes complete with textbooks, work materials, and instructions. The courses allow you the freedom to pursue your own areas of interest according to your schedule. Whether it's UFOs, life after death, demonology, cryptozoology, and more, you've got questions. We've got answers. Visit www.instituteofmetaphysics.com or call 877-623-3241 and start your search now.
Welcome. We were just talking, and I asked Cheryl Lynn, what's in store for me on a personal level, and I got the good news. It's more of the same. So there it is, guys. More pain, more lung problems.
I did see treatments for you, and Taro did say about trying some of the new technologies on some of your ailments. But there was the one main thing with you that you really have to keep dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm trying really, really hard to go to Ireland this fall, and it's okay. It's calling the caller.
Oh, I hear the ringtone.
Hello?
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, how are you?
Okay. Do you have a question for Cheryl Lynn?
Yeah, I'm just kind of interested in where my professional future is going in the next year.
Okay, and what's your first name?
Anthony.
Okay, Anthony. How old are you, Anthony?
36.
Okay, hold on a moment.
A baby.
Okay, Anthony, you're definitely going to be making more money. Okay, so that's the good news. Also, Taro's saying that you need to, if this profession is something that you love to do, this is something that you've been wanting to do, you're to take it, okay? Now, you need to move, or is this like a distance from where you are now, or there's some travel involved with this, Anthony?
It would be actually closer to home, if anything.
Okay, but I do see that you're going to have to travel a little bit, maybe within the text of the job. Okay.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'd be driving around. So.
Yeah. Okay. So Taro says, be prepared for that. So you're definitely going to be doing that. You're definitely going to be making more money. You have to have a little bit of a patience. You've been waiting around for this to happen. This needs to happen for you, though, Anthony, because this is something that you really love to do. Okay. So you're being in 2013 actually is a good year for that for everybody. To follow what your life's purpose is and your soul's purpose and what you love to do. You do have a little bit of training that you have to go through for this, Anthony, but then after that, you're really on your way. Now, will you be working by yourself, though? I mean, you have assignments or something? Yeah, you're good at that, though. Yeah, you'll be good at that. There will be long hours, though. Taro's saying be prepared to put that extra time in.
Right.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
You will advance, and you will get that new job.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony.
Very cool. Thank you for calling in.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody wants to call in, 732-707-7709. Cheryl Lynn will take your calls. We've got about 10 more minutes. So 2013 sounds like it's going to be a rough year, but it also sounds like it's going to force people to start being more productive.
It's as all these changes are happening. just like with Anthony, people are going to start doing what they want to do. They're going to start saying, what's my life's purpose? What's my soul's purpose? What's going to make me happy? And they're going to start pursuing that. Okay, because it's no longer, like I said, the American dream where you're getting the bigger home and the bigger car and all the clothes and the designer purses and all that stuff. Now it's going to be more inner growth, inner things, and things that make you happy. So as all this other stuff happens, the spiritual really kicks in too. And that, like we talked about the paranormal stuff, that's just part of the spiritual world, really, kicking up. So yeah.
Viet Slama is saying in the chat, I'm living the dream already. And my Andrew says that all the time. Somebody will say, how you doing? And he says, I'm living the dream. And I break up all the time as I'm thinking of him bailing water from the camper this weekend, which was just a nightmare. The weather, the East Coast is going to should expect an earthquake. But it's not going to be as bad as what the West Coast is going to be facing.
The East Coast, we had like a little, like last year we had a little, I'm in Pennsylvania here.
Yeah.
And we had a little bit of an earthquake. It's going to happen again in 2013, but major earthquake for the West Coast. Something big coming for the West Coast. So, I want to make sure people are prepared for that.
Okay.
And,
I'm trying to recap the big stuff that's going to happen, and you're saying volcanic eruptions, but it's going to be something that's been dormant a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be like we're going to see it on the news, like, wow, that's erupting. It's like it's going to be shocking. And had the flooding and tornadoes continue, and the power surges throughout America, especially in America, and China moving in as the superpower.
What do you see for Japan? Because Japan's had a rough year. It's been since 2011.
I see Japan underwater.
Oh.
I see Japan not lasting. I see Japan going underwater. I see more and more flooding and more just the city just being eaten away by water. So, or the country being eaten away by water. So, eventually, I don't think there's going to be a Japan.
We got another one. All right, we have another caller.
Would.
You would, yeah. Any other countries that are in for a rough ride of it next year?
I feel Mexico. I feel shakeups in Mexico. Again, with the United States, these weather patterns. Again, New York City, not so much 2013, but I feel like 2014, 15, around there. There's something coming as far as like major flooding with New York City. And like I've been saying all along about the Jersey Shore.
Hello, caller.
Yes.
Do you have a question?
I was wondering how my living situation was going to be in the near future.
Okay, and what's your first name and how old are you?
Jessica, and I'm 33.
Okay, Jessica. And your question is how your living situation is what's going to be happening with your living situation?
Yes.
Okay, one moment. Okay. All right. Carol's saying that you're going to be staying put there for a little while, okay? You have a lot of conflicts where you're living right now?
Not too bad, no.
Okay. I do feel that there's going to be some conflicts where you're living, but you're going to kind of like stay put for a while, all right? You will have some financial blessings coming up that you'll be able to move then or to improve your life, but until then, you're just kind of like staying put for now.
Okay. All right, that's not
Jessica,
too bad.
It'll be okay.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. With that, I'm going to thank you so much for coming on. It's always a blast. I don't know. It was a little bit, it's not scary, but a little uncertain. People are going to have to dig in and start getting their priorities in order, and I'm not sure that's a bad thing for 2013.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of good, but then, again, just everybody please be prepared. And thank you, Mo, for allowing me to come on and do this. And I thank your listeners, and I especially thank the callers for calling in. Thank you.
And again, thank you. Cheryl Lynn can be contacted at her phone, 484-221-9620. She's available for personal phone or email readings. You can have a tarot party or a psychic salon. Check out her site, www.whiteroseproductions.com. There's a space between the productions with one of those little space things. And also, you're going to have a reading soon, right?
Yeah, I have a psychic salon coming up this Thursday at the Colonial House Restaurant. The doors open at 6:30, and that's at 129 Howardtown Road in Catasauqua, PA. So all my PA people, please come and see me on Thursday, and we're going to have a fun time. I don't do the psychic salons a lot, so I have one now this week and then one in June. So come out and see me.
Okay, that's very cool. Thank you again for coming on, and now we know what's coming up for 2013. We're going to have to set you up for 2014, right?
Yep, yeah. Hopefully I'll talk to you at the end of the year, Mo. We can get in 2014.
Okay, I'll be ready. I'll be ready for it. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
This was fun. It's scary for some people because, people are afraid of change, and they're afraid when things get tough, but that's okay. What makes us tough is a good thing. It helps define us. The greatest generation had to fight a world war, and they learned how to survive when things got tough. Again, our condolences to the friends and families of actor Jonathan Frid, who created basically the iconic Barnabas Collins, and the movie Dark Shadows is coming out in a few days, and Jonathan did a walk-in, like what did they call it, a cameo in the movie. It walks into a restaurant or something, and some of the other people were there. So I hope that everybody will, check out the new movie and maybe check out the old Dark Shadow series. It was a great series and great fun. And next week we're going to have alien abduction victim Jesse Long is going to be on, and since age 5 he has been abducted, and at first he didn't realize what was going on with the time lapses, but then deep transmental episodes with doctors putting him under brought out a lot of what went on with them. He's been on a lot of documentaries, and he's got a compelling case. He also had an object removed from his leg of some years back, so that's going to be a really interesting show. And then on the 8th, we're going to have Geraldine Sutton-Stith, and her father and family were involved in the Kelly Hopkinsville incident, which was pretty much a gun battle with a UFO. It was a UFO incident in August 21st, 1955 in Kelly, Kentucky. And then we're going to have Barry Schwartz is going to come on. He inspected the Shroud of Turin. He and a team went in and did forensic testing on it in the late 70s, around 1978. He's going to come on and tell us what they found and what they believe the shroud is. Then on the 22nd, Jesse, Geraldine, and Tom are all going to come on and talk about alien abduction. Tom Reed is the Willow Lake abduction case, and he's been on a number of times. Then on the 29th, we're going to have Catherine Lee Scott, who played Maggie Evans from Dark Shadows. She's going to come on and talk to us about her book, Revisiting Collinswood. And with that, that, I hope everybody has a good evening. I want to thank you for listening, and God bless you and keep you all safe and sound. And don't worry, we'll all be here in 2013. I promise you, we're going to have a show. Everything's going to be okay. Might be a little harder, but we're all going to be okay. And with that, I love you. Good night.
Somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow, while can't.
Thank you for visiting me at my lair. Mo Banshee's Lair is broadcast live on Tuesday evenings at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Pacific, and in the UK, 3 a.m. Wednesday mornings on www.gameconradio.com. You can listen to our recent recordings on Podomatic/Mo Banshee. You can contact me at www.asylumsgate.com. Again, thank you for listening. God bless you and yours, and have a very cool day.
Jesse, Geraldine, and Tom are all coming on, and we're going to talk about the similarities in their abduction cases. And then on the 29th of May, Catherine Lee Scott is going to be on, and Catherine Lee Scott played Maggie Evans on the original Dark Shadows series. So we've got, May is going to knock your socks off, people. So that's what's going on. We have some crazy but news, and I always do. A New Jersey couple is suing their landlord because their house is haunted. A New Jersey couple rented a house, and Jose Chinchilla and his fiancée Michelle Callan claimed they were terrorized by eerie noises, flickering lights, slamming doors, and strange pulling on their bed sheets. So they got a hold of some group from New Jersey who made sure that all the news media got there. And Chinchilla and Callan are claiming that the activity forced them to move out of the home after 1 week, and they're suing their landlord for their $2,250 security deposit. Now, a haunting is something that's disrupting a life, and if eerie noises, flickering lights, slamming doors, that kind of thing upsets their lives, I'm going to say that this story, it's got a lot of red flags in it. The landlord believes the couple was more spooked by their rent. They overbid. They got in there and realized they weren't going to be able to pay the lease, so they wanted to get out of the lease. I didn't investigate the story, but I got to tell you, people are desperate for money now. The fact that the first thing they did was go to the news medium with this makes me very suspicious. Usually the serious cases I get, these people don't want anybody to know that they're having these kind of problems. And I never go to the news about this kind of stuff because you're going to put people's lives, under a microscope, and most people don't want that. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm seeing more and more people resort to this to get out of their mortgages, to get out of paying the bills, for the houses and stuff. So I'm going to watch the series around again. It all started all over again. And he'd say, I don't mind, if they like what I'm doing, but sometimes they kind of forget that I'm not really a vampire. So, we really, he's an icon, and what he did was unbelievable. His character, his acting, actually created a whole cult. What he did for vampires was amazing. He did it before a lot of, all this Twilight stuff and everything. There was Barnabas Collins, portrayed by Jonathan Frid, and God bless his family and his friends and his loved ones. And I hope he gets to bite somebody in the neck in heaven. I don't know what he's doing. But we're going to play a song for him, and it's from one of my favorite movies, Somewhere in Time, written by John Barry, and we're going to be playing the theme from that. We're also going to be playing tonight Raise the Titanic by John Barry, and then The Wizard by Black Sabbath. And next week, we're going to be having Jesse Long on May 1st. He's an abduction victim for extraterrestrials. He's been on a lot of documentaries. He's one of those cases like Tom Reed that you just can't find holes in it, man. You don't know exactly what's going on. And then the week after that, we're going to have Geraldine Sutton-Stith. She's going to come on, and she is the daughter of one of the men who was involved in what is known as the Kelly Hopkinsville incident, and that was where farmers were attacked by extraterrestrials and fought them off with rifles in 1955. And then Tom Reed is going to join us the week after that. No, we're going to have the Barry Schwartz is going to be on the 15th. Barry Schwartz was one of the team who actually physically looked at the Shroud of Turin, and he investigated it. They did all kinds of samples on it to find out where it came from. So the 15th is the Shroud of Turin. Then on the 20th, but I'm a little leery of this whole thing. Meow, a cat in Santa Fe, needs a home. Santa Fe, New Mexico. His elderly owner couldn't care for him anymore, so she had to put him up for adoption with a animal shelter there. But Meow has a problem. He weighs 39 pounds. That's about 25 pounds more than any cat should weigh unless they're a cougar. I saw a picture of him in the news, and he's a beautiful thing, but he is absolutely, he can barely walk. He's just a big fat football with these four little nubs hanging down. They're going to put him on a very slow diet to get him to lose the weight, but then they're going to put him up for adoption. So somebody in the Santa Fe area, if you can, take this cat, that would be wonderful, and be his new forever home. So good luck to Meow. And that's our crazy but news. Terry Soto, Captain Celluloid. We're a little on the edge about the movie con for 2012 in June. There's a little bit of a problem because he's having problems getting vendors in. If you know a vendor in the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, maybe Connecticut and all that, that would be interested in having a table there, somebody get a hold of me. This is going to be a great movie con. A lot of iconic actors and actresses, from horror shows to comics to everything. Really great people are going to be there, and it'd be a shame to see this go down. And with that, I'm going to bring our guest on tonight, Cheryl Lynn. I met her some time ago at our camper, the same one that we had to bail buckets for this weekend. Welcome to the lair, Cheryl.
Oh, thanks, Mo. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, you're welcome. You you give personal readings, right?
Yes, I do. I do personal readings, and I can also do parties, and I guess anything.
Mm-hmm. And if anybody wants to get a hold of her, her number is 484.
The opinions and views expressed in the following presentation do not necessarily reflect those of GameCon Radio or its affiliates.
Banshee's Lair, Visionary Talk Radio on GameConRadio.com. We rock your world.
Welcome to Mo Banshee's Lair, Visionary Talk Radio on GameConRadio.com. We rock your game. Tonight we're going to rock your world with one of our favorite sidekicks, and she does predictions and terror horoscopes, as I call them. Cheryl Lynn is coming back tonight, and she's waiting in the side. I want to welcome everybody listening on the players and however you're listening in, and everybody in the chat. Welcome for coming in. Jonathan Frid passed away on the 13th. Jonathan Frid will forever be known as the man who portrayed Barnabas Collins in the cult classic Dark Shadows. In 1966, you had The Guiding Light. All My Children was brand new that year, and there was this little soap opera that came on, and it all was centered around this governess. And the governess, they never quite ever told you who she was, but everybody figured that she was the illegitimate child of Elizabeth Stoddard, the one who ran Collins Wood. And she's called to be a governess at the house, and she's trying to find out where she came from. She knows she was born in Maine, but she's trying to figure out who she is. And suddenly it was floundering, so Dan Curtis brought in some ghosts. And suddenly it was about the ghosts were always trying to help, Victoria Winters. They were always saving her. They were always making sure nothing bad happened to her. And so, hang on. Can you go to... And it was really, it still wasn't doing great. The show still was floundering. And then they did something that was amazing. They brought in this Canadian actor who was a Shakespearean actor, and they brought him in, and he saved it. And that show ran until 1971, and that was Jonathan Frid. And I got to tell you, I've often thought over the years that this poor guy was kind of like Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, all of them, they were great actors. They were Shakespearean actors. They did great things. But the only thing anybody's ever going to remember Jonathan Frid for is Barnabas Collins. He saved that show. I don't know I would have wanted to be in his shoes, because he literally shouldered that show. He was 87 years old when he passed away. And only in the last 20 years did he really get comfortable with it. And he was often quoted as saying he didn't know what the attraction was. Barnabas definitely had a hang-up, he would call it. But he was getting 3 pensions from the States, and he lived in a nice little house, so he was okay with it. Whatever his life was, it turned out to be okay. Millions of women sent him pictures of themselves nude. They would send all kinds of letters. People would send him letters saying, "Don't beat up Willie." And then when they brought